Hamburg Port Authority is looking for innovative technologies that can improve operational efficiency. Has the Port of Hamburg done any trials with these new technologies?
We are using drones, and not just the flying drones, for air inspections. We have also implemented drones, swimming drones, diving drones, and also autonomous driving on roads, on rail.
In 2022, the Port of Hamburg started construction of the first shore-based power station at a container port to supply green electricity from the public grid to ships. Is it finished?
In 2025, 2026, we will see the last and the newest terminal will be in operation. We can reduce a lot of tons of CO2 by using onshore power supply or cold ironing. We always have to keep an eye that the emissions in the port, we want to bring them to zero.
The China-Europe Rail Express has been extended to the Port of Hamburg. How is this benefiting the port's development?
I see a very positive perspective in the way of trading between our countries and also our ports, and especially the Port of Hamburg. There is also a chance for all the countries in between our countries, which can be served via this corridor.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. Today we're interviewing Jens Meier, the CEO of HPA. Hello Jens, thank you for taking our interview.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Actually, I remember you said previously that the Hamburg Port Authority is looking for innovative technologies that can improve operational efficiency. So how is this progressing?
I think the big milestone was 2015 when we had the World Port Conference here in Hamburg. Something you would call the window to the world, how you can use new technology like Bluetooth, video detection, all kinds of detections and sensor technology to become smarter, more efficient on your logistic processes. On the other side, we want to implement pilot solutions and then also bring this kind of pilot solutions, mega trends, into a solution which is used by our business units in the port. And there will be the next chance, 2024, when the next IAPH World Port Conference will happen in Hamburg. I would like to invite all the other ports, all the partners of the ports, to share with us on this World Port Conference.
Has the Port of Hamburg done any trials with these new technologies? How it goes? Could you please give us some examples?
Yeah, the clear strategy is always double capacity without doubling space. That means in reality, we were able to increase the utilization on every single train, I would say by more than 35%. This is a win-win situation for the rail operating companies, but also for the port, that you can avoid a lot of traffic jams. That is one of the very good examples. The second thing is what we call predictive maintenance. If you use new existing technology, you are able to be ahead of development before your infrastructure is disrupted. You are able to repair or maintain, that you can keep the port in a flow. And the third example I would like to mention is we are using drones, and not just the flying drones, for air inspections. We have also implemented drones, swimming drones, diving drones, and also autonomous driving on roads, on rail, because we found out, this is not any longer any secret, that you can use similar technology on all modes of transport.
In 2022, the Port of Hamburg started construction of the first shore-based power station at a container port to supply green electricity from the public grid to ships. Is it finished and ready to start operating?
We started with the first shore power supply already in 2015, 2016 with the first cruise terminal. Right now it's what you would call an expansion program. We will implement at the end all of our container terminals and all of our cruise terminals. The main portion of the project will be ready end of 24. So the big cruise terminal will be ready end of 23. The container terminals will be all ready end of 24. We will finalize that project, I believe, in 2025.
Will shore power supply at cruise ship terminals also be introduced?
Today, you can use it already at one of our existing terminals. End of 2023, we will be ready at our biggest cruise terminal. We believe next year we will be able to serve 75% of all the calls of cruise vessels to serve them with shore power. And in 2025, 2026, we will see the last and the newest terminal will be in operation.
Why are you building such shore-based power facilities?
The people love the port and they love to sit and watch the port as kind of a silhouette, having a glass of water, wine or beer, whatever you would like. And on the other hand, we always have to keep an eye that the emissions in the port, we want to bring them to zero. And at the berth, we found out if the utilization is high enough, especially at our container terminals, we can implement shore power. We can use a lot of tons of CO2 by using onshore power supply or cold ironing. Started 2015-16 already.
The Port of Hamburg is known as Germany's gateway to the world. Built in 1189, is the largest seaport in Germany, has close ties with major Chinese ports, and handles the high-volume goods that are being transported to and from China. So how do you see its relationship with China's main ports developing in the future?
We always believe that ports, they don't have a competitive situation, Hamburg and any port in China. Therefore, we try to exchange our knowledge and fulfill the corridor, especially on the maritime supply chain, but also on the land-based corridors. So I see a very positive perspective in the way of trading between our countries and also our ports, and especially the Port of Hamburg. The Port of Hamburg and the Port of Shanghai are not just connected as sister ports. We belong to an association or alliance called Chainport, a chain of smart ports. That means intelligent ports have connected to each other by sharing knowledge about automation, digitization, but also what is very important, to share the knowledge about customer needs. If someone wants to produce something in China and want to deliver to Europe via the Port of Hamburg.
The Port of Hamburg is connected to the rest of Europe through a well-developed waterway and a rail network. So it boosts a strong collection and distribution capacity. Now that the China-Europe Rail Express has been extended to the Port of Hamburg, how is this benefiting the port's development?
As everybody in our industry knows, the Port of Hamburg is the biggest railway port in Europe, maybe worldwide. We believe that the Port of Hamburg, with its perfect services to China, belongs to what I would call the main route. We have around 257 connections with 19 direct Chinese connection points or cities or locations. I believe that the main routes between Hamburg and China more or less perfectly prepared. And there's also a chance for all the countries in between our countries, which can be served via this corridor. But on the long run, I believe that the rail corridor is the perfect addition to the existing supply chain, which are serving well. And Hamburg, as the big rail hub, has a real advantage in its competitive position for using that.
Okay, thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. Please continue to follow Yicai's Northbound Forum high-end interviews. We will be talking with more global shipping influencers, interpreting hot topics and development trends in the global shipping market, and supporting the upgrading of Shanghai International Shipping Center.